Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the HTML forms. Forms are how websites collect information from users like login details, contact form, or even feedback. Let's learn how to make them. Forms are everywhere on the web. They allow users to communicate with the website, whether that's by sending a message, making a purchase, or signing up for a newsletter. Learning how to create forms is crucial for building interactive and useful websites. Let's start by creating a simple form using the form element. Forms have several key attributes, like action and method. Here's how you set up a basic form. Action specifies where the form data should be sent. Method determines how the data is sent. Common methods are get and post. We won't be focusing on this for now. Before we start adding different input elements, let's talk about using labels. Labels make forms more user-friendly and accessible. They help users understand what information they need to enter, and they also make it easier for people using screen readers. Why use labels? Labels are crucial for accessibility and usability. When you link a label to an input element, users can click on the label to focus on the input field, making it easier to interact with. There are two main ways to link a label to an input field. You can link a label to an input by using the for attribute. The value of the for attribute should match the ID of the input element. In this example, clicking on the username label will focus on the text input field. Another way is to wrap the input element directly inside the label. This method doesn't require the for attribute. Here, clicking on the password label will focus on the input field inside it. Now that we understand how to link labels to input fields, let's add different input types inside our form. Alrighty guys, the first thing we're going to do is create a text input. So we'll add the label, for equals name. We'll add the name label. Next we'll create an input. Type equals text. ID equals name. Name equals name. Placeholder, enter your name. Autocomplete will be set to off. And then we're going to save it. And this is what it should look like on the right. We'll enter a dummy name. David. Next, we'll create the email input. So we'll create a label. For equals email. Add the email label that you can see on the right. Next, we'll add the input. Type equals email. ID equals email. Name equals email. Placeholder, enter your email. Set autocomplete to off. And we're going to save it. There it is. Now you can enter your email. It also has validation as well if you don't write it properly. Next input is for the password. So for equals password. Going to add the password label. There you can see on the right. Next, we're going to put the input. Type equals password. ID equals password. Name equals password. I'm going to set the placeholder as stars. Then we're going to save that. And this is what it looks like on the right when you start typing. All right, now let's create a number input. So we'll create the label for equals age. Add the age label, as you can see on the right there. Next, we'll add the input. Type equals number. ID equals age, like the label. Name equals age. Minimum equals 0. That's the lowest you can go to. And max equals 100. That's the highest you can go. Now I'm going to save that. Now let's check it out. See, we can go up and down, and the lowest is 0, just like the minimum says. Next, we'll create a checkbox. First, we'll create the label. For equals subscribe. Add subscribe label. Save that, and you'll see on the right there. Next, we'll add the input. Type equals checkbox. Checkbox. ID equals subscribe. Name equals subscribe. Now we're going to save that, and you can see the checkbox just on the right there, and you can turn it on and off. All right, now we're going to make a radio input. So we'll create a label. Inside the label, create an input. Type equals radio. Name equals gender. Value equals male. Now we're going to close that and add male as a label. I'm going to save that, and you can see that on the right with the radio button there. Next, we're going to create another one, label. Inside the label, we're going to put the input. Same as above, type equals radio. Name equals gender, must be the same as above, otherwise it will not work. Value equals female. I'm going to close the input and type female as the label. We're going to save that, and there you can see both the radio buttons. The last input type will be a submit button. So we're going to create a button with a type of submit. Add submit inside, and this is to submit the form when you click on it, but we haven't created the logic for that, so it will not work. Now it's your turn. Create your own form with at least 3 different input types. Try making a sign-up form with fields for name, email, password, and a subscribe checkbox. Post your forms or questions in the comments below. That's it for today's lesson on HTML forms. We hope you enjoyed learning how to collect information from your users. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy coding!